Is present. I will now call this meeting to order. The time is 5:40 p.m. Mr. Brian Clements, Executive Director for Security and Technology, will present the Technology Protection Measure and Internet Safety Policy public hearing. This presentation will include the Acceptance Use Policy, Internet Filtering System, and Internet Safety Curriculum. The presentation will fulfill the E-rate requirement. At this time, I will turn the floor over to Mr. Clements. Brian?
Good evening. If it's okay so you can hear me talk, I'll put this back on when I leave. It's that time again for our annual presentation to talk about the Children's Internet Protection Act. And so this is our annual public hearing that we do. And so the Children's Internet Protection Act has 4 requirements for the school district. And the first one is that we have technology protection measures in place to protect our students and to protect our adults who use our computers and our system. It requires that we have a published internet safety policy, an internet safety curriculum that we teach to our children, and then that we do a public notice and a hearing. So number 4 we're doing right now. We'll talk about the other 3 tonight. Under our technology protection measures, some of the things that we do, one of the main things is light speed relay. That's our internet filter. And that's where we filter out all the bad sites and the places we don't want our kids to go. And with Relay, what we do is every device we purchase in this district, we buy a 5-year Relay license for it. So, and that typically is the life of the devices, especially when we talk about Chromebooks. We're going to get 5 years and we're done, but they're guaranteed that protection, and every device gets that. We use Google Enterprise for education, and that's how we manage all of our Chromebooks and everything that goes on in the Google environment, on our Google Drives, with our Google Mail, all of those pieces. And what it allows us to do is to group students so that we can put students in groups that have these permissions. We can put adults in groups that have these permissions. It lets us control what programs or add-ons can go on Google Chrome devices. So the kids can't just put everything they want. They have to be an approved add-on before we let them modify that part of the system. It also allows us to track our Chromebooks. So with Google Enterprise for Education, we can look and see, is that Chromebook at school? Is it at another address? If it's stolen, it lets us lock it. And then as soon as they open it, whether they log in or not, we get a location. And that helps us. And we've sent officers to houses to knock on the door to go, you have one of my Chromebooks. And we get them back. And so it gives us a lot of ways to manage our devices. And the nice thing about a Chromebook, which is really where we're heading with most of the devices in the district, is that if a Chromebook is stolen, it has no street value. We lock it, and they can't re-image it. They can't do anything else with it. It's a brick. So because of that, there's not a big market for them. Our pawn shops know not to buy them. In fact, in the last year and a half, I've had 2 Chromebooks show up in pawn shops. And we get them back because we get a notice when they show up at the pawn shop. So we use Google Enterprise for Education as the main way to do that. We've put hotspots out for our kids, so we get them on the internet using our T-Mobile hotspots. And we've got about 3,000 of those that are running out there. Well, they get a double whammy with those because the hotspot itself with the internet that they provide through T-Mobile has internet filtering that is SIPA compliant. So if they did nothing else but get on that hotspot, they're still filtered to meet the requirements of the law. But they come through that hotspot, which is filtered, and then once they log into their account, everything they have runs back through us, so they get our filtering also on top of that. And then one of the final things that we use, and we started this last September that you're familiar with, is our Bark for Schools. And Bark for Schools analyzes activities in the Google environment, whether it's on a Google Drive, whether it's email or any documents or web searches, it analyzes those. And when it does, it's looking for things like self-harm and suicidal content, sexual content, bullying, violence, weapons, hate speech, medically concerning. And if they hit on those, we get an alert. If it's a serious enough hit, we get a phone call that says, hey, would you go check this? And then we follow those up. We have a great working relationship with our counselors and our social workers. If they call us at 2 in the morning about one that's serious, we address it at 2 in the morning. We're not going to wait on that because our kids are too important to do that. So it gives us all of those. And the nice thing about that is because we use Bark for Schools, there's a parent portal. Our parents can sign up for it. And when they do, it's absolutely free of charge. They get the same notices for their kids that we get. Plus, they can assign hours that they want their internet to work for their kids on their devices or not. They can put in websites that they can say, I don't want my kids going to these websites. They can even set up check-ins for their kids so that if they're not at home, they check in and they know where their kids are. And that's a completely free service that we offer to parents. We track that, and about 65% of our parents have signed up for that free service and use it. And we've gotten very good reviews that come back on that. As of today, this morning, in the last year, we have monitored over 392 different transactions or activities that have come through Bark for Schools. And we've had some great success stories in protecting and taking care of our kids with that. So we have an internet safety policy. It's our acceptable use policy. It gets signed by students and employees. The first time they log into a machine, they see it, they sign it, and then we have them on board with that. In that policy, there's several things that we talk about. Computer use on our network is a privilege. It's not a right. We go over basics, passwords. We don't share passwords. We don't install personal software. And all software must be licensed. Well, on our Chrome machines, that's easy. They just don't get to do that without our permission. We talk about internet access. It's for instructional and administrative purposes. We try to make sure that employees or folks are not using it for private business purposes. But they know that there's personal things we do just like we would do on a telephone, but it's for school use. And then we stress all the time, and I'll stress it to you with a board account, electronic communications are not private. It's a public school district, and what goes in and out of those accounts, there's not a reasonable expectation of privacy. They can be subpoenaed, we can look at them whether it's a student or an adult, and we want to make sure they know that. You've heard us say before, the basic rule is don't put anything in an email you don't want to see on the front page of the Houston Chronicle. So we want to make sure that they understand that and that they abide by copyright laws. For our employees, we do a digital citizenship presentation, and then every year when we're doing our classes to kick off the year, everybody gets to do a data responsibility lesson, internet safety, and we talk about cyberbullying and then electronic communications with students and social media, what's allowed and what's not. And then on top of that, our digital learning and assessment coordinators are all common sense certified educators. And I think you saw that logo in a previous presentation that the district did. But all of our DLACs go through training to be certified as a common sense educator. And because of that, then they are allowed to do the training and teach our teachers to teach our internet safety curriculum, and also with the teachers they work with on the campuses. For our elementary students, these are the things that we typically hit: safety, personal information, passwords, information literacy, copyright, and cyberbullying. And then our 6 through 8, you'll see digital life, scams and schemes, because they have more time that's uncontrolled for them. My media, how to be safe online, which me should I be? And we talk about keeping their information private because they're getting to that point where they're making new friends and doing things. But we want them to be safe as they do that. And then in high school, you can see the things that we do again. Oops, I broadcast it on the internet. We stress all the time, once you put it out there, you don't own it anymore, and it's out there for the world. We want them to be careful with that because it has consequences down the road. We know that employers are searching social media accounts. Athletic recruiters are doing the same things. And we want our kids to be smart with what they do with that. In our school, in the high schools, this is all taught through the English class. And we do lessons each month that we again do so that they stay up to date. And we try to keep it in front of them, so that they think about that. It's easy to be online and forget I'm not in a safe environment. For our parents, we've put some of this on hold because of COVID, but our PTA presentations that we've typically done, we have web resources online so that they can go on, see some of the things, and that we can help them again, because our parents are behind the curve when it comes to keeping up with the kids. But we want them to have resources that we can help them with. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to leave you with, it's, our internet protection for our kids is more important than ever. Thankfully, because you have helped us get there, we have over 20,000 Chromebooks in play out there. Our kids all have individual devices. They have access at home that either comes from a hotspot or through other programs we're working with Harris County on to provide that. But it's important that because they have those, they're at home, they're unsupervised, that we make sure our protections are in place, that we take care of them. And again, I'm proud of what we've done as a district for being one-to-one with our kids, the opportunities that we provide them, the opportunities not just for kids, but in a lot of our homes, that's the only device that they have, and our parents benefit from those devices also. So it does make a difference as we bridge that digital divide for our kids. So that's all I have to give you. I'll ask if there's any questions or comments I can answer for you before we wrap up tonight.
Or comments about Brian's presentation? If not, thank you, Brian. That was really interesting.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time tonight.
I'll now turn the floor over to Dr. Sonia Nazi, Chief Financial Officer and Deputy Superintendent for Operational Support, who will conduct a public hearing to discuss the School First Annual Financial Management Report. Dr. Nazi?
All right, good evening. So the purpose of tonight's public hearing is to discuss with you the annual School First rating for Galena Park ISD. So first, we're going to talk about the definition and background of School First. We're also going to discuss the annual financial management report, which is a required component of the School First system, and then also the district's performance rating for 2021. So School First has been in place for a number of years. It was first implemented in 1999. So we're in the 19th year of the School First system. In the current year, we have 20 indicators that have been established by the Commissioner of Education. And basically what this is the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. Something that's important to keep in mind is when you're looking at this rating, the 2021 rating, it is based on information from 2019-20. So it would be financial information from our annual audit report and also PEIMS data on staff and students from 19-20, and then there's other relevant information. So the School First rating system, it's divided into three major categories, and they look at, there's several critical indicators. It also assesses the solvency of the district, and it looks at financial competency. So there are 4 critical indicators that were used in the 2021 rating system, and if you don't pass the critical ratings, then you're automatically rated an F. So luckily, Galena Park ISD was successful in meeting all 4 of those critical indicators. The rest of the components of the system, there's points that are awarded. And so some of them, it's either a pass-fail and you receive all of the points for each of those indicators, or you receive varying amounts of points within those indicators. So once the Texas Education Agency notifies us that they have completed the assessment and they have awarded the results of School First, they've communicated that to us, then we are required to hold this public hearing, and then we're also required to prepare an annual financial management report. That annual financial management report, it's been given to all of the board members. We have placed copies here in the board room for any public members that are interested, and we will also be posting this information on the district's website. Within the annual financial management report, the purpose of that is to communicate the overall financial rating of the district. And then it also looks at each one of the indicators, and then it discusses with each one individually, and you can see how Galena Park ISD performed on each one of those individual indicators. Within that document, there are also some other legally required disclosures that we must make. Then these pertain primarily to the superintendent and the members of the board. So we have to report in there any gifts that are received that are reported from the superintendent or board members. We also have to disclose any business transactions that have been provided to us between the district and board members. We also put a copy of the superintendent's current contract in there, which is required by law. Either it needs to be posted on the website or contained within this report. We also are required to report any outside compensation earned by the superintendent that's been reported. And then we also include in here any expenditures or reimbursements that have been made on behalf of board members and the superintendent. And that information is also included in the document. So for the rating for the current year, out a possible score of 100 points, Galena Park, we scored 92 points, so that was enough that we were able to achieve the A superior achievement rating. So that is the conclusion of my information. So do any of you have any questions for me?
I need to ask if any board member or a member of the public has any questions or comments regarding the public hearing. If not, thank you very much, Dr. Nizzi. The public hearing is adjourned. The time is 5:55 p.m. We will start the regular meeting at 6 o'clock. Board of Trustees of the Galena Park Independent School District is now convened in a regular meeting on Monday, November the 8th, 2021, in the Administration Building of the Galena Park Independent School District, the address of which is 14705 Woodforest Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77015. The time is 6 o'clock p.m. I want to welcome the members of the audience to this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Galena Park ISD Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, and personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and the day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by sections 551.071 to 551.084 inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in the Galena Park Independent School District. We have no public items for posted agenda items. We have no public comments for posted agenda items today. We do have public comments for non-agenda items tonight. Patrons who have duly registered per policy BED local may address the board regarding matters of concern or interest to the district other than the character of any student, staff, or board member. I would like to remind the audience that the comments of the speakers reflect their own positions and opinions. The board may not discuss or act upon any matter that is not listed under the action item portion of the agenda. Therefore, board members may not discuss the comments of the speakers. Please understand that a lack of a response from board members does not indicate agreement or approval of the comments. Each speaker will be given 30 minutes to address the board. The vice president of the board will be the designated timekeeper. Mr. Mark Fowler, would you please step up to the podium?
My name is Mary Carmen Soto, Centerpoint Energy Score Program Manager. I am here to represent Centerpoint Score and Commercial Load Management Programs. I am joined by Mark Fowler, Senior Consultant from Clear Result, Centerpoint's Program Implementation Partner in the Score Program. Together, we are excited to recognize Galena Park ISD for outstanding performance in the 2020 and 2021 Score and Commercial Load Management Programs. The SCORE program provides local governments, schools, and higher education customers with vendor-neutral guidance to help complete projects that will reduce peak electric demand and save annual energy consumption. The program also pays cash incentives for the estimated KW and KWH energy savings from each project. The Commercial Load Management Program offers cash incentives to qualifying customers willing to reduce summer peak demand during critical consumption periods. During the 2020 and 2021 program years, Galena Park ISD has earned over $250,000 for numerous energy efficiency investments through SCORE, as well as the district's participation in commercial load management. On behalf of Centerpoint Energy, I would like to recognize Sonny Fletcher, Charles Miller, and Zachary Fade for outstanding participation in these programs. It is my pleasure to present this commemorative check in the amount of $252,940,051, representing Galena Park ISD earned incentives during the 2020 and 2021 SCORE and Commercial Load Management programs. Thank you.
Wow.
Any questions or comments?
Wow, and well done, guys. Come on up here. some of the spotlight. Thank you very much, and well done, guys. Tonight's invocation will be presented by Board Member Noe Esparza, the Board Secretary, and the pledges to the American and Texas flags will be led by the Galena Park Middle School LOTC Color Guard. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the pledges of allegiance to the flags.
If you'll please bow your head. Loving and gracious Father, we come before you tonight to give you thanks for all of your blessings. We thank you for all of our teachers, administrators, support staff, and students. We ask that you bless them abundantly. Heavenly Father, we continue to seek your wisdom and guidance and strength and ask that you be with us during our deliberations tonight. Give us the wisdom necessary to make the decisions for the good of all those who have placed their confidence and trust in our leadership. Grant us the insight to lead with integrity, and grant us the humility to always seek your will in all that we do and say. We ask all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee. Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Well done, Galena Park Middle School. We'll now move on to this evening's special recognition portion of the agenda. Dr. Moore?
Okay, Mr. Noe Esparza, would you please come on up and help me? All right, so we have a few accolades to pass out. Ms. Johnson will help me and read them out, and as your name's called, if you'll please come back up front. Our friends from the SCORE program will bring you guys back up with the check, and we'll take some pics, okay?
Thank you, Dr. Moore. Though you've already heard a little bit about our first recognition item, we want to be sure and recognize these gentlemen and departments on behalf of Galena Park ISD. At this time, I'll ask the following to please join us on stage. Mr. Zachary Fade, Director for Energy Management and Utility Service. Mr. Harold Sonny Fletcher, Senior Director for Facility Planning and Construction. And Mr. Charlie Miller, Director for Maintenance. The departments represented on stage tonight have worked diligently to ensure good stewardship of taxpayer dollars through cost-effective decision-making when managing energy resources for Galena Park ISD. CenterPoint Energy's SCORE program has rewarded this strategic approach through the incentives you just saw presented. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your dedication to our district and community. Keep up the good work. Dr. Nizey, would you join them for a photo, please? Mr. Drexler? Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Bryce Tham to join us on stage. As a 5th grade student at North Shore Elementary School, Bryce was chosen to represent Galena Park ISD at last summer's 2021 Lone Star Leadership Academy camp with other distinguished students from across the state. These students had an opportunity to learn about the great state of Texas by visiting numerous historical sites and venues throughout the state. During the week-long camp, they participated in leadership groups and activities to complete problem-solving, simulations, and learn the importance of resourceful, creative, and diplomatic teamwork. We are so proud of you, Bryce. Thank you for representing Galena Park ISD, and we look forward to seeing the impact of your leadership in the future. This concludes the recognition portion of tonight's board meeting. Thank you.
Any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without prior posting being required. Comment items may not pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated upon at this time. Does anyone have a comment? All right. We come now to the academic spotlight. Mr. Toby Castro, Director for Career and Technical Education, will present the academic spotlight. Mr. Castro will highlight the career and technical education programs, certifications, and business partnerships. Mr. Castro?
Good evening, President Miller, trustees, Dr. Moore, and cabinet members. I'm Toby Castro, very proud Director for Career and Technical Education in Galena Park. I'd like to take a moment before we begin with the video to just give a shout out to a few of our important staff members and stakeholders that make this all possible. My direct boss, Senior Director for Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Marley Morris. We have a CTE counselor for the North Side who's officed out of North Shore Senior High School but services the north side of the district, Melissa Jensen. I think I saw Mr. Adam Vela, automotive instructor, who you'll learn more about in the video that we'll watch here in a moment. And then we also have Mrs. Carla Thompson, who's the regional manager for Turner Industries, one of our very supportive business partners with us tonight, who you'll also see in the video. In tonight's presentation, you will hear from some of the wonderful things going on in the Career and Technical Education Department that help support our students be successful in the future in the global marketplace. Hope you enjoy the video.
In Galena Park ISD, CTE programs have certifications and licensures, steer and lambs, industry partners, competitive events, programs of study, and people. And all but the people can be the same. Hi, I'm Toby Castro, Director for Career and Technical Education for Galena Park ISD. I am very thrilled to share with you the impact our programs are making for our over 8,200 CTE students in grades 7 through 12. Providing you with a glimpse of this impact are some of the people that make Galena Park ISD CTE a great place to be.
Programs of study were introduced in the 2020-21 school year. Galena Park ISD offers 38 unique programs of study throughout the district, supported by 151 CTE classes. Each program of study falls under one or more endorsement, which is a requirement for graduation. Through the CCR classes, students select a career plan which lists classes they will be taking for the next 4 years. Implemented by GPISD during the 2019-2020 school year, it is used as a method of course selection and future planning tool.
To help students earn their endorsement and graduate, we start the process in 8th grade. Every 8th grader in GPISD is in a CCR course, which covers the different endorsements along with their English curriculum. In January, high school counselors visit their feeder schools to complete the course selection. We then use the course selection information across all grades to determine courses offered based on student interest. One example of a new course that was added at North Shore Senior High this last school year is aerospace. CTE University is an 8th grade exploratory CTE event that is held in January before course selection. High school CTE teachers from both sides of the district and high school students are there to provide hands-on activities, which helps the 8th grade students solidify their intended career plan choice.
College and career readiness is for all of our 8th graders and is a required course. Throughout the course, we learn about their high school options in endorsements and all the fields of study available at Galena Park ISD. We also learn about other critical life skills like resume writing, interviewing skills, budgeting.
CCR has impacted me by learning many more different careers that I really didn't know about, and when I learned about them I was really shocked and I didn't know I'll be more interested in different careers.
I love being able to teach college and career readiness. It's such an honor to work with our 8th graders and get them ready for the next 4 years. Seeing all these important skills in 8th grade before they even start high school, I think it's an essential component of their education, and it's great to be able to work with the high school counselors and the CTE department to make sure that they are ready for the next 4 years and they know what opportunities GPISD has for them in CTE.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Escamilla and I'm the Principals of Audio, Video, and Animation 1 and 2 teacher here at Galena Park High School. And in my program, students focus on creating graphics, video, and animation using state-of-the-art programs that are industry standard: Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Premiere Pro, and Adobe After Effects. You might be wondering, why do students want to get a certification? What is the benefit of that? Well, it's quite simple. One of the things that they can put on their resume, whether they're applying for school or applying for a job that's applicable to what we do in here, is the fact that they have a certification in these programs. These are skills that will be helpful in all different pathways of life.
While we're in this class, we always learn about how each program works. The process of making something like an altered photo, altered video.
So I'm certified in Photoshop and Premiere Pro, and in order to be certified you have to go through all the lessons first and to get a better understanding of it. It could be really useful in the real world. For example, editing pictures, you could land a job in a magazine, editing the covers or the lettering in the inside on newspapers too. Your posters and stuff could stand out from others if they're not taking Photoshop and you are. You have a better understanding of it.
Hello, my name is Ashley Morales. I am the health science teacher at North Shore Senior High. I teach clinical rotations and medical assisting and health science theory. Some of the things that we do in the classroom is a lot of hands-on learning. So the students are actually, practicing on each other, and they get to do live EKGs, hooking up from the beginning to the end. In these programs, we offer a CPR certification, which is BLS, which is a hospital provider certification. We also have our clinical rotation team that goes out and observes nurses, doctors. We also allow them to get their EKG certification.
Last year in my junior year of high school, I worked on my EKG certification, and now I'm adding on to that and I'm working to go and get my medical assisting certification.
So with this program, it's super awesome because the kids are getting a head start. They're getting a jump on it. Most high school students are walking out of high school with no medical background. Our students are walking out with the opportunity to jump ahead of the line of nursing and x-ray school because of their experience, because of their certifications and their background.
My name is Daniel Herrera. and I'm a transporter here at Houston Methodist Baytown Hospital. During my time at GPISD, it was a lot of hard work, but through a lot of studying and time management, I got through it and eventually ended up getting certified. And that certification, I would say, definitely helped lay the foundation for my healthcare career, and it definitely gave me a head start on, more than most people should at a high school.
My name is Carla Thompson. I'm a regional manager for Turner Industries Group. My focus is workforce development. We have a really strong partnership with Galena Park ISD. Thanks to the instructors in the school and the coordinators, we hire from the automotive group, we hire from the welding group. We just really appreciate all the hard work that the instructors here do with their students, getting them ready for industry.
I'm Nick, I'm with Turner Industries, and I'm currently an apprentice for Turner. I got involved with Turner by doing welding classes at Galena Park High School. They helped me by giving me hands-on experience with welding and seeing how it'd be in the real life. I'm thankful for the opportunities Galena Park ISD gave me to give me a head start in my career.
So I'm Darren Baptiste. I'm a workforce development coordinator at Turner Industries. My job responsibilities range from anything from talking to local high schools to recruiting. We have a strong partnership with Galena Park. We love having their kids. They have some of the best kids that come into the industry.
Hello, my name is Adam Vella. I'm the automotive teacher here at North Shore Senior High School. I teach Automotive 1, Auto 2, and Auto Practicum, which is a work program that we have our students go out and work in the community with dealerships and other aftermarket auto repair shops. They're learning a lot of hands-on skills, career readiness skills, and I try to teach a lot of soft skills as well, as far as interview skills, resume writing. So we're really career oriented here in the automotive industry.
Yeah, my name is David Pena. I'm the shop foreman and lead technician right here at Community Kia in Baytown, Texas. I've been working quite a few years right here at Community Kia, in which we use a program where we have students from the different school districts come over and either job shadow or actually start working with us right here. And it's been great working with Galena Park students. I've seen them, coming in from just very little experience to now becoming a great technician and a great help right here at the shop. And I know it's been also a great experience for him.
My name is Zach Gonzalez, and I'm with Galena Park underneath the Practicum program, and I'm here working at Community Kia and learning how to become a technician. For my line of work, I just do oil changes. Not only that, I do jobs like tire rotations and tire changes. I'll be getting a lot more better at doing my job and learning more social skills to do better in this field. And I would like to thank people like Sammy and also Mr. Vela for giving me this chance to work here in Community Kia and start my career. And hopefully this message can help other students do the same thing.
By providing you a quick look inside CTE, you will see how our programs prepare highly skilled, adaptable, creative, and equipped college and career-ready students to be successful in the global marketplace.
The people, including students, community, and faculty and staff, truly make Galena Park ISD a great place to be.
This time, I'd be happy to take any questions. All right, I'd like to just thank Mrs. Hunter and her team, especially Brashawn Thompson and Michael Lamb. They did a phenomenal job with this video and do some great things in that communications department. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Castro. We come now to the business portion of tonight's meeting. We invite and encourage you to stay for the remainder of the meeting. However, if you need to leave early, we understand, and this is a convenient time to do so. We appreciate your attendance. Please come again. for Facilities Planning and Construction will provide a 2016 bond program construction update.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Did that come through okay? Do I get closer? Good? Oh, thank you. Start here with our summer 2021 renovations. This one, because it was an addition, ran over here at MacArthur Elementary, and those are the boys and girls restrooms there connected to the cafeteria. If you'll remember last month, this was just plain drywall. A lot of progress.
Oh, wow.
The contractor did a great job in this month. Then, even almost as exciting, although it probably doesn't look like it from the photos, on the left, getting ready for select fill to go in for that replacement elementary school there at Pyburn. And then on the right, almost just as important as a temporary parking lot, because the teachers and staff were parking basically where the track hoe and dozer are sitting, so we needed to get them a place to park. That's going along very nicely. And then, of course, our projects in design, our Galena Park High School Phase 2, and we're moving roads out of the way, so to speak, relocating them. That work is ongoing, be coming back for bidding here in several months. And then, of course, Phase 2 kind of ties into our presentation we just had for Career and Technology and Cafeteria Edition there at Galena Park High School. Exciting. Any questions?
Thank you, Sonny.
No, thank you all.
With respect to the general consent agenda, do we want to remove any item for a separate vote or take the agenda as is?
I know as far as a move, we approve the general consent agenda as presented.
Norma.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Noe Esparza and a second by Ms. Wanda Heath Johnson. All in favor? 6 in favor, none against, and no abstentions. With respect to the financial consent agenda, do we want to remove any item for a separate vote or take the agenda as is?
I, Adrienne Stevens, move we approve the financial consent agenda as presented. I, Norma Hernandez, second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Adrienne Stevens and a second by Ms. Norma Hernandez. All in favor? There are 6 in favor, none against, and no abstentions. The following documents were presented to the board for information. Dr. Sonia Nazi, Chief Financial Officer and Deputy Superintendent for Operational Support, presented Annual Investment Report for the period of September the 1st, 2020 through August the 31st, 2021. The 2016 Bond Program Financial Report as of September 30th, 2021. The Donation Report for October 2021. And the Comparative Tax Collection Report for the period of September the 1st through September the 30th for fiscal years 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2022. Elizabeth Layler, Deputy Superintendent for Educational Support and School Administration, presented the Early Head Start Policy Council meeting minutes from September of 2021 and the Early Head Start Update and Fund 205 Expenditure Report summary through September of 2021. An executive session of the board will now be held on the matters contained in the notice for this meeting as authorized by Section 551.001 through Section 551.084 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Open Meetings Act. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote be required with regard to any matter considered in such closed or executive meeting or session, then such final action, final decision, or final vote shall be at either this public meeting upon the reconvening of this public meeting or at a subsequent public meeting of the board upon notice thereof, as the board shall determine. A closed or executive meeting of the board will now be held. It is 6:29 p.m. Session is adjourned. The board is now in open session. The time is 7:08 p.m. There being no other business before the board at this time, the meeting is adjourned at 7:08 p.m.